It is the 11th of February 2023. Thank you so much for tuning into UBC News Tonight today at 8 p.m. with me, Sharon Kyomugisha, in our top stories of the day. Installed as Muni University Chancellor. Members of Parliament applaud crop research institutions in Karamoja. Still to come, Speaker Anita Ikred has been asked by parents' failure to take their children to school. Low turnout of students reported in most Karamoja schools. A very good evening and welcome once again to UBC News Tonight. In our top stories of the day, the retired Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, His Grace Dr. Henry Luke Orombi, is officially the new Chancellor of Muni University. Archbishop Emeritus Orombi is the second Chancellor of the university after Dr. Eric Adriko, who is the first Chancellor of Muni since its inception in 2013. Take a look.
Ceremonial role to symbolize your titular status over the university.
Retired Archbishop His Grace Dr. Henry Luke Orombi has been installed as Chancellor Muni University. He was appointed by President Yoweri Museveni as the second Chancellor of Muni University. The Archbishop has been in retirement for the last 11 years. Orombi has pledged commitment in taking the Muni University to another level.
So that even those of us, a region which is named in English west of the River Nile, we sometimes is forgotten, we have been remembered. Mr. President, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to your office for appointing me as the second Chancellor of Muni University.
I promise that with the help of God, I will use my optimum skills, knowledge, and values for work towards maintaining what has been achieved and making my contributions towards taking Muni University to another level.
The installation was presided over by the Vice President of Uganda, Major General Jessica Alupo, on behalf of President Yoweri Museveni. In a speech of the President read by the Vice President, Major General Jessica Alupo, Museveni thanked the management of Muni University for promoting techno-science and congratulated the Archbishop Emeritus, Right Reverend Dr. Henry Luke Orombi, upon his installation.
Today, I am happy to note that the university has grown to 6 faculties, 15 academic programs, 100 faculty staff, and has graduated a total of 379 graduates during the last 6 years. Mr. Chancellor, sir, I wish to congratulate Muni University for having carved a niche in technosciences, which resonates very well with the government's effort in promoting science and technology. I would like to thank the Ministry of Education and Sports, led by Honorable Mama Janet Kataha Museveni, for the guidance provided to the universities in the country. This is commendable for the growth and development of our country. When the second term of the former Chancellor, the Right Honorable Engineer Dr. Adriko, expired on August 31st, 2022, I received recommendations from the University Council, and that made my work very easy. And the results are seen in the person of Archbishop Emeritus Dr. Henry Luke Orombi, the new and the second Chancellor of Muni University. I now take this opportunity to congratulate Archbishop Emeritus Dr. Henry Luke Orombi upon being installed as the new Chancellor of Muni University. Congratulations.
Currently, through the Department of Biology, Muni University, in collaboration with Bucknell University in the United States of America, is undertaking research to find out the cause of Ebola disease suspected to be through African bats.
Various scientific reports have suspected the fruit bat to be the natural host for Ebola virus and many other viruses. A project developed between Muni University and Bucknell University in Penn State in the US targets to prove this suspicion. To this effect, fruit-eating bats have been sampled around the common international border between Kyomugisha District and DRC, and also the common international border between Jinja District and South Sudan. These bats have been stabilized in a laboratory environment.
During the same occasion, a total of 260 students graduated with a Bachelor of Information Systems, Bachelor of Science in Information Technology, Bachelor of Science with Education, and Bachelor of Nursing Science, among others. In her speech delivered by the State Minister for Primary Education, Dr. Joyce Moriko, Education Minister Janet Museveni cautioned graduates against corruption at employment places.
Accordingly, please use the skills, knowledge, and abilities acquired here at Muni University in faithful service to the Lord. I urge you to desist from being influenced by the moral decay in our society today, which has led to corruption in the workplace.
Joseph Odama, UBC News.
The Parliamentary Committee on Agriculture has commended Nabun Zonal Agriculture Research Institute in Lorengendwat, Sub-County, Nabilatu District for promoting good agricultural practices. The committee chairperson, Janet Akech-Okori, and fellow members of Parliament now want the Institute activities to be spread out to all the 9 districts of Karamoja. However, the Director of Research at the facility, Dr. Paul Okulo, decried limited extension workers and insecurity.
The Parliamentary Committee on Agriculture, led by its chairperson, Janet Akech-Okori, have wound up a 2-day tour of Karamoja sub-region aimed at ensuring all-inclusive intervention by the Ministry of Agriculture and its agencies. Scientists explained some of the activities, including introduction of coffee growing in Karenga, Kabong, Kotido, and biopesticides to control pests in plants.
It grows. So the plant, once it takes off, it's able to what? To develop structure which resists the pest. And then also the smell repels what? Repels the pest. But also it has killing what? Killing property.
You can make cheap way of processing that.
Because actually you should make it even more cheaper.
Yeah.
To encourage farmers to use it.
Exactly.
Absorption of the technology.
Yes.
The committee toured the Anti-Tick Vaccine Research Institute, taking place in the 6 centers across the country.
And this is one of the sites. And the trial it should be called evaluation of the product that have been developed.
This we will save government several trillions of dollars. And I don't recall the exact value, but we have calculated it, of money, which they should have used to import the vaccine. Second, we have now seen that farmers are just spraying animal anyhow. Ticks are now resistant. And those chemicals they are spraying, they are affecting the bees, they are affecting other insects that or other organisms that makes ecosystem well. So if we can remove those spraying, then we are protecting the environment. We also lower the cost of production to the farmers drastically. So those are the thing. And this is the final stage of this research. It has been proven that it works. But there is one.
The institute also carries out research on tree species which can survive in Karamoja. The Director of Research at Nabunzadi, Dr. Paul Okulo, decreed limited numbers of extension workers in the region and insecurity that scares away staff.
Rain, as people say, or drought. The biggest challenge is Karamoja is just when to do things. Can we do it at the right time? Just like in areas where the snow covered the land for 6 months, we also know that this drought comes 3-4 months. So the challenge is how to get farmers, for example, crop farmers, to prepare first land in the correct time and plant in the correct time. The second one is planting the correct varieties. There are a lot of mess up in the different seeds. Actually, I don't call them seed. They are planting grain.
Comes from the floor of Parliament, whether at committee or plenary, we are going to advocate that we are better off if we recruit more agricultural extension workers.
The committee wants that activities at Nabun be spread to all districts.
Where there are some areas in Karamoja have swamps, and they could, with your intervention on fish, now also start promoting production of fish.
A dam, I would call it a lake, in the names of Lomoro. But around 2014, around 6,000 fish flies were introduced in this dam. At the moment, there is a lot of fish in the dam, but harvesting the fish is very, very difficult. I saw a narrow boat in the picture, and it said, how did that community access the boat? If possible, this would be available to that community to cover. Because extracting the fish has been very destructive. We have lost a number of people. The water is deep. Because of someone entering the dam to pick the fish, people have drowned and lost their lives.
Nabunza serves the 9 districts of Karamoja and 10 in Teso sub-regions.
The biomass is the same as the weight up of living life.
In more news, the Deputy Commander of the Special Forces Command, Brigadier General Charity Bainababo, has congratulated pupils in the SFC Army primary schools who sat for their primary leaving examinations last year for their excellent performance. Brigadier General Bainababo lauded the schools at a function organized by the SFC leadership at the SFC headquarters in Entebbe. Details in this report.
Marine-based primary school with you preparing.
Brigadier General Bainababo said SFC Army Primary School's performance was worth celebrating because the teachers and pupils proved hard work pays.
To you learners or students, as you prefer to be called from now onwards, congratulations. Hard work pays, and here we are celebrating your hard work.
She asked the learners to remain focused, being the only remedy to success. Brigadier General Bainababo also advised pupils to stay away from evil behaviors associated with drug abuse.
If I decided to ask each student, you have a dream, but that dream can be crushed in a blink if you lose your focus. If you go for drugs, because it's the in thing now, it's cool to take drugs. As they say, it is not cool. It will crush your dreams.
The SFC Director of Civil Military Cooperation, Colonel Gilbert Owamagezi, under whose docket schools fall, said SFC has unwavering support towards the country's education sector.
I thank you for this effort in trying to understand the message of the strategic leadership, socio-economic transformation. You can only take advantage of the democratic dividend when you educate society.
The inspector of SFC Army Schools, Major Emmanuel Kahewa, said SFC Army Schools have embarked on revamping the lost glory by heightening academic performance through deployment of competent school teachers, dialoguing and engaging with Kampala Capital City Authority to fill teachers' gaps in Army schools.
I thank the chieftains of education and sports for availing us with teachers whenever there is need. Timely. Also, KCCA, the Director of Education KCCA, and Principal Education Officer in Tebe Municipal Council. They have been cooperative whenever there is need for us to equip us with more teachers or on any facilities.
Moving on from that, the media fraternity in the Rwenzori sub-region are in Fort Portal City to discuss issues concerning promoting and protecting press freedom while on duty. Journalists here say most of them are yet to enjoy their freedom at work, especially with their bosses. Ntawali has a detailed story on this.
Although journalists play a very big role regarding information sharing in the society, most of them have not fully enjoyed their rights, especially with the media house proprietors. This says some female journalists are being sexually harassed when it comes to looking for jobs.
For the years I have been in journalism, I have seen some fellow female journalists being sexually harassed. I have witnessed some bosses, some superiors in some media houses who are using girls.
Some of them say they have volunteered for so many years without contracts, which they say hinder effective service delivery to the public.
Your old boss will come. Why did you talk about this? Who told you? You want the UCC to close us and what? So we have that problem. I don't know how it can be handled if you can really try to bring on board our bosses for these trainings.
The situation has made journalists in Kasese to organize training for journalists who work in the Rwenzori sub-region to discuss various issues concerning the media fraternity.
Today we are here specifically commissioning a number of peer support volunteers. We want to grow that network that is able to speak on journalist rights violation. And we started it last year, but today we have made a 12 team of people who are going to voluntarily collaborate and document all human rights violations meted against journalists for support from organizations so that UJK can come into support.
A female presenter at Messiah Radio in Kasese district, Jolie Mwambu, noted that most female journalists still face sexual harassment while at work by their employers.
Stop raping girls. Stop forcing them into relationships in disguise of giving them jobs. It is not right. If someone went to school to become a journalist, let her be because of who she is or because of what she studied.
While facilitating the training, the media consultant from Morunji and Mugabe Associate, Kanso Muhira Deus Alitwaha, advised journalists to always seek legal advice, especially when their rights are violated.
As a journalist, it's your right, and also as a human, it's your right. So once your right is stumbled on, you can always seek redress. And what is the right procedure of redress? Court. Yes, we appreciate the fact that we may not have the resources at times to hire legal counsel and to process the case. We have what we call pro bono. And there are some legal aid service providers who will often provide us this legal aid at no cost or at a very minimal cost.
The Speaker of Parliament, Anita Mong Magogo, has embarked on a campaign to ensure that all the school-going children in her district are enrolled in school. The campaign is in response to the poor turn-up of children at government-aided primary schools in Bukedea district this very time.
School-going children are supposed to have reported back to school on 6th of February 2023, though in some areas, these children are yet to report.
Let the parents do their roles, as the teachers also do their roles, as the children also know that their responsibility is to go to school.
In Bukedea district, several government-aided primary schools have been registering a low turn-up, even in candidate classes.
The turn-up is very poor, us being in the first week of the opening, but I hope next week the turn-up will be normal and it will normalize, I pray so. Most of them are busy fishing and they are moving with the parents moreover. And then tomorrow you bring your child. When is it
2 weeks, if not a week, to close of the term.
This blame has been put on parents who are still holding the learners at home, claiming that they haven't acquired the scholastic materials.
You know, these UP rural schools, kids even remain at home because there's no exercise book.
You know, it's dry season. Parents are facing hardship to access money to buy this kind of scholastic materials.
This has been described as a major setback that has hampered the completion of school syllabus, hence affecting their performance.
Because now we're taking long to pick up with the syllabus coverage. As we talk, we're busy doing such revision as we wait for them to come.
Those ones who are since Monday, when we reported, they started learning. Those ones who have not reported, they have missed the lessons. So it affects the performance.
In some schools that registered high turn-up, learners seem to have been attracted by meals provided by the schools.
There are midday meals. You see, when there are meals at school, it attracts many children to school because they come and get meals they don't starve.
This prompted the Speaker of Parliament, among Anita Magogo, to extend her support to all government-aided primary schools in her district by distributing scholastic materials.
Most of the children go home without homework simply because the parents cannot afford buying many books. So the Right Honourable Speaker has afforded to give them homework books in a way that as the children leave school in the evening, a teacher has that big assignment of giving children homework with numbers like maybe from number 1 up to number 5 to go and do it at home, other than a child roaming from home to home or going to play.
Parents, teachers and pupils hailed Anita for her timely assistance of promoting education in her district.
Thank you, our mom, Honorable Anita, to buy for us books. Thank you very much. I promised you I will get Division 1 in primary 7. Thank you very much.
It's real, those are real issues that she's now handling. Because when you get kids, when we get kids around along the way, there's no exercise book, and that's why he's absent. And in fact, a class like P7, when the kid is at home because such books are not there.
Joseph Oko, UBC.
Great initiative right there from the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Magogo, to make sure that children go back to school in big numbers. Moving on from that, the Vice President, retired Major Jessica Lupo, has called upon leaders and the public to be vigilant on how the government-led parish development model project geared at eliminating poverty is implemented in their respective areas following reports of misappropriation of funds meant for the project. Now, Alupo's appeal follows alleged reports that over 26 billion Ugandan shillings were paid to ghost circles, a matter that the Auditor General and the IGG are closely following up to establish how the purported fraudulent transactions were made to non-existent circles.
Wugisu schools have expressed readiness to promote girl-child education through ensuring a good and just study environment for all. At Amosi College School, the mood was joyous after getting 51 candidates in Division 1 and 49 in Division 2. The head teacher, Richard Olupot, says they are now embarking on ensuring that the girl child gets a favorable learning environment where they can concentrate and compete well with boys.
This is a very big achievement for Amosi College this year. It's a record high performance. 51 Division 1, and we have 49 Division 2, and 22 Division 3. Number of factors. One of them is the highly qualified and committed staff. 2, you can't succeed without discipline. The girl child is key in the growth of every school. In this case, girls are considered in such a way that teachers can handle them in one way or the other.
At Nabumali High School in Imbale District, the Director of Studies, Wodero John Baptist, says the school performed well with 21 in Division 1 and 38 in Division 2.
Our students have done so well. They have tried their best. We've been able to get 21 in Division 1 and 38 in Division 2. And for us, we believe this performance is very good. Performance of the girl has been also good. They have improved generally. This one being a mixed school, we allow that interaction between the boys and the girls. And we give girls also opportunity, especially when there are discussions.
Bududa district also performed well, with the Bududa Secondary School producing 35 students in Division 1, 46 in Division 2, and 60 in Division 3.
Attribute this good performance of the results to consistency and timely management and handling of our academic programs.
Well, congratulations to all those that sat for their exams and passed in Bududa sub-region. In more stories, celebrations of the recently released Uganda Certificate of Education examination results continue as schools savor their success. In Mwakiso District, St. Lawrence Academy, schools and colleges are celebrating a feat of having 85% of students passing with good grades. Now, the principal, St. Lawrence Academy Schools and Colleges, Justin Tulina, says that the 2022 UCE results have been exceptional.
The recently released 2022 Uganda Certificate of Education exam results continue to excite schools, candidates and parents across the country. At St. Lawrence Academy Schools and Colleges in the district of Wakiso, Central Uganda, there has been spur of the moment celebrations following exceptional performance.
I've got 11 aggregates. First of all, I thank my teachers for teaching me well, for the conducive environment. I want to thank the school itself for the facilities and all that.
The senior 4 results show that 90% of the students of the Academy of St. Lawrence Budo bagged a lot of success.
I'm very so happy that I made it as the Academy St. Lawrence. We are able to get 90% first grades. We thank the Almighty God. It's all by God's grace that we've made it. We appreciate our parents for the support you've given to our children.
The Director of Studies Horizon Campus, Rebecca Naku, attributes the 80% of the surpassed girl students to God, virtuous learners and teachers, among others.
The performance has been so good, very exciting. All our girls have passed, and we had 51 students, 25 in first grade, 18 in second grade, and the rest in the third grade. We are so grateful to God that we had none who was ungraded.
Students of Paris Palais, Citizen High School and Creamland campus of St. Lawrence also performed well in both arts and science subjects.
London College, we thank God for the good results we have this year. For 2022 UCE, all our students have performed very well. Majority of them have passed in first grade, and we have very few in second grade. Would like to thank the parents who have entrusted us with their children. Would also like to thank the management of St. Lawrence Academy Schools and Colleges, and in particular, would like to thank the rector.
In Luba, Kampala City, Mackay College, Natete, emerged the best universal secondary education with 75% of the 2022 UCE students passing in Division 1 and others in Division 2. Mary Kalyango, the school head teacher, says this year's performance has been good.
We thank God that we managed to get 22 first grades, 68 second grades, 75 third, and 50 fourth. We are glad to report that around 75% of our students can come back for A level because they have the minimum UNEB requirements.
Relatedly, in Mokone District, Faith High School Sondi Namgongo are celebrating students' good performance.
We got 27 first grades and our best student got 11 aggregates in 8. Our second best student got 16 aggregates in 8. Our third best got 17 aggregates in 8. The rest of the students out of 165, they all passed and passed well.
Well, clearly the jubilations haven't come to an end because school administrators for best schools in Busoga continue to jubilate excellence in the just released UCE results. They marched the streets and villages to mark their success. Take a look.
Busoga sub-region leapt into frenzy following the release of UCE results. Kira College Butiki, Jinja Progressive Academy, JIPRA, Busoga College Mwiri, Iganga SS and Jinja College among others are some of the leading schools in Busoga sub-region. At JIPRA celebrations, 78 candidates scored first grade, 149 passed in second grade, with the best student Mukaya Henry Kinawa scoring 11 aggregates. The school director Haji Kitezala Swaibu says they support excellence.
God, the most gracious and most merciful, who has enabled us to perform well in the 2022 UCE results. Not have any failures here. Best student being Mukaya Henry Inawa with 11 aggregates for 8. Wabubi Patrick, 12 aggregates for 8.
At Jinja Comprehensive School, there was a march past in the trading center of Mafubira, Wachitaka, Namulesa and Impomude to inform all and sundry about excellent performance at the school. The best students scored 11 aggregates. The school director emphasized their commitment to produce good results at all times. Abiona Francisco, UBC News.
Now at Progress SS Chitintale administrators, parents and students are yet to relax their joyous mood after topping performance in Nakawa division. Watch them as they celebrate.
Progressive Secondary School Chitintale is in Nakawa Division, a Kampala suburb. It emerged victorious after excelling with 130 best performing candidates in 2022 UCE. Flying this school's flag high is Omni Daniel, who scored 8 aggregates.
We thank God so much for having seen us through, and you who is listening and who is hearing parent as I speak, bring your student to Progressive SS Chitintale. You will not regret. We thank them so much, and we are saying, please bring students to Progressive. You will not regret.
Directors, teachers and students say the performance is a result of hard work.
The Almighty God for having seen us through 2022, our exams of UCE. Our student who managed the best was Oni Daniel. We thank him so much, and we thank the teachers for the cooperation. If it were not their cooperation, we wouldn't have managed to get the 8 in 8. It is also important to note that the parents have assisted us financially in terms of school fees and also other requirements to their offspring and their children.
Progressive ACES registered 35 students in first grade, 95 in second and 25 students in third grade. Relatedly, in Mityana district, Mityana Modern SS was among the best schools in the just released UCE 2022 results.
We bagged a total of 85 first grades, 92 second grades and 64 third grade. We are happy to the Lord. We excelled that way, and we're working hard to uplift the standard. Why have we reached that level? It's because of hard work, teamwork, and prayer. Ketuita amanjige vivi.
Now, as the new term begins, a number of learners in Karamoja sub-region school are yet to return to school. Children are reportedly still tending to their livestock. Others are reportedly at mining centers brewing alcohol, while yet others are busy cutting down trees for charcoal burning. Take a look.
Karamoja sub-region is a leading livestock keeping region in the country. The region leads in cattle, goats and sheep keeping. Though this is obviously a blessing, it however has kept most children away from school as they are preoccupied with looking after the livestock on behalf of their parents. Now, as schools open for first term in Kotido, children are still in the fields looking after their livestock. Schools in Moroto district like Nanduget, Naitakwe primary schools and Moroto Parents Secondary School teachers outnumber learners.
Then this year, we're expecting at least some 70 or 80.
While at Nanduget Primary School, children around 5 and 6 years have come to register on their own to start school, but they are not ready that day as they promised to go and look for books.
Because most of these children come to school on their own, they are not being supervised by their parents. And once a child has decided to come to school, can decide. Some parents do effort to bring their children, and that's the.
Some teachers say children come to school because of food.
Turn-up has not been so good because yesterday we had no food. We received the food yesterday late in the evening from WFP. And it has been the nature of our children from within. When they see the smoke burning, is when they will come to school. So yesterday they were here and there was no fire burning, meaning there was no lunch. Majority went back and they have not come back today. That's why you see we have registered, but they are not in classes.
We're not prepared food for them, that's why they are missing classes.
We have started preparing meals for them. Right now even the cooking is going on.
In schools like Naitakwe, classes were going on in lower classes, which had big numbers, while upper classes had 2 or no learners.
We have enrolled is 80 children enrolled now, with more in P1, 4 in P7, and then 1 in P4, P6 also 1. Expect over 1,000 students.
Upper classes are from outside the district, and others, the sponsored one also have not appeared, meaning maybe they have not been provided with their scholastic materials.
There is no food in school, and also some of the children I know they must be affected by insecurity.
At Moroto Parents Secondary School, only 4 students were around on Tuesday.
But as you can see in the compound, learners are not reported. The few can pop in and get out. But if you can compare with our enrollment yesterday on the wall, we closed with 362 students. We are expecting this year more than that, because of the very many development we are putting in place.
The Deputy RDC Moroto, Justin Tuko, Sam, said they are to arrest parents who are not taking children to school.
That any child which is a goat, either looking after animals, either fetching water, yet maybe somebody is supposed to be at school, mining in those other mining sites. So therefore, when we realize that there is such a person, that person, the parents of those people should be arrested.
Some children in Karamoja are taken as source of labor and breadwinners to their families. I'm Nafka Farida and Moreniga.
Moving away from the stories on children celebrating and students celebrating on their success from the UCE results, National Resistance Movement members who plan to participate in the second NRM Canada Symposium have been urged to acquire visas early enough to avoid disappointment. The symposium is slated to take place in July 2023. The chairman, NRM Canada Chapter Fred Chinene, said interested parties need to apply using the rightful procedures because the chapter does not get visas Voices for People.
The leadership of National Resistance Movement Canada chapter has held an engagement with the Minister of Presidency, Millie Babalanda, and the Minister for Kampala, Hajat Minsa Kabanda, about the forthcoming NRM Canada Symposium for 2023. One of the things to be considered during the second symposium is to help Ugandans in Canada understand how business is run in Uganda to be able to know where to invest. The chairperson of the Canada chapter has, however, advised NRM members interested to participate to register and process the visas early.
Encourage everyone to register. Few seats are left, and then I want to encourage everyone in Canada to be energized about this second symposium. So many projects, so many a chance to have to explore Canada and come and have a seat with your MPs and understand how things and businesses run in Uganda.
Some NRM members of parliament say the achievements of NRM are always overshadowed by opposition propaganda, and such symposiums help them to showcase the good things NRM has done.
We congratulate our brother who came up with this idea of mobilizing our fellow NRM supporters in Canada, and we are ready to support him as leaders on the NRM ticketing part.
No, they shouldn't expect that the chairman is going to get for them visas. What they have to do is to prepare their documents, because most people the other time applied when the conference was about to kick off, like 5 days to the conference, which was really very, very difficult.
The Member of Parliament for Rakai County, Semwanga Javira, says this symposium is meant to unite NRM members in Canada and those in Uganda, and also discuss different opportunities.
Bring our people who stay in Canada together, how they can love their country the more, how we can talk about investment plans when they are in Canada, how we can do something to do with the treasury, how they can invest, diaspora bonds, a lot of things that really concern their development.
The second symposium is slated for July 2023 in Toronto, Canada. I'm Navka Farida in Kampala.
We'll take a short commercial break and we'll be back with UBC News.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kabote Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kabote deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kabote Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
Get the most affordable 4G smartphone in Uganda from Airtel. Now heavily discounted from 250,000 shillings to 150,000 shillings only. Yes, 150,000 shillings only to keep you connected to your loved ones.
Dial *175*94# to activate free 1 GB instantly and 100% double data on all weekly and monthly bundles for 3 months. Get one today while stock lasts from the nearest Airtel shop. With Airtel, the smartphone network.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
This is our family's pride.
This is my friend.
This is the future of our nation.
She is the future of Uganda, and the policies I enact today will protect her from teenage pregnancy.
She is the hope of our community, and I will talk to others about how we must protect her.
She is our family's pride, and I will protect her from child marriage and talk to her about the dangers of teenage pregnancy. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from child marriage and pregnancy, because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Their support meant so much to me. I stayed focused and was protected from child marriage and teenage pregnancy. I will support other girls against child marriage and teenage pregnancy.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sauti 116.
Did you know that you can safely and conveniently make your school fees payments anytime, any school, anywhere using Airtel Money? Oh yes! Simply pick up your phone and dial *185#. Select option 6, school fees. Choose between school pay, peg pay, or shore pay. Enter student number. Enter amount, confirm name and transaction. Enter Airtel Money PIN. A confirmation message will be sent to you upon a successful transaction. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Still watching UBC News Tonight, and in our business stories, preliminary investigations into the mess that happened during the relocation of vendors to the new Kabale Central Market are pinning top officials at the Kabale Municipal and Committee heads of gross extortion. The preliminary outcomes of the investigations, were released by a committee instituted by the Minister of Local Government, Raphael Majezi, last week. Details in this report.
A section of vendors had accused municipality authorities, led by the mayor, Emmanuel Santero Kyomugisha, of allegedly soliciting bribes to allocate stalls and lockups to unknown people, civil servants, and their relatives. During the meeting, Ben Mufti Mukiza, the principal town agent for Southern Division in Kabale Municipality, was arrested after the vendors accused him of extorting 10,000 shillings from each of them during the registration process. In the wake of the alleged extortion scandals, Local Government Minister Raphael Majezi ordered for the arrest of Fidelis Akankwasa, the Kabale Municipality commercial officer, after vendors allegedly accused him of selling lockups and stalls at 5 million shillings each. The committee was ordered to hand over the list of compliance and findings to Majezi for analysis. Now, Ronald Bakak, the Deputy Resident District Commissioner for Kabale, told the media that his office has so far recorded 259 complainants accusing authorities of growth extortion. Bakak says that most of the irregularities that were exhibited in the process were as a result of self-centered individuals.
I cannot remember the complaints, but there are very many, including Ninsima and others. So this one did not take, because it was a very serious issue, including collecting bribes, obtaining money by false pretense. We said no, we shall not wait for the final report of the committee. So I instructed the police to investigate that allegation, and so far police has one person in custody. The acting market master, Benon, is with us in the custody, and very many people have been cooperative to do some statements against those people.
Reverend Father Godias Musinguzi, the director of Radio Maria in Kabale Diocese, claims that he paid 30 million Ugandan shillings to Akwankwasa and was availed documents of getting 2 lockups in the market.
I paid 30 million shillings, but I did not get the lockups. And now, to me, I'm completely disappointed. I have lost trust in the people.
Reverend Canon Jack Katarishagwe, a disgruntled vendor, says cheated people in the process, are no longer interested in getting the lockups, but rather have their money refunded.
I have Reverend Fathers who also bought. They were not there, but they gave money to the commercial officer, Mr. Kankwasa Fidelis, who could have been the treasurer probably of a big group which was receiving this money. But the one who was receiving was this Fidelis Akankwasa, the commercial officer, who is now on the run.
The accused Akankwasa is currently on the run, while Mufti Mikiza is on police bond. In 2019, Chong International Construction, a Chinese company, was contracted to upgrade the 23 billion shillings modern market under the World Bank Funded Markets and Agriculture Trade Improved Program. It was handed over to the government in December, and it was officially opened for business early last month.
Agricultural scientists say misinformation about genetic modification of crops has limited the adoption of innovations in agriculture. Dr. Andrew Chigundu, a researcher at National Agricultural Research Organization, says Africa needs to step up the uptake of agricultural science to avert hunger and food insecurity.
Genetic modification of crops is a science used to produce crop varieties with desired characteristics. These characteristics include developing crops that are tolerant to pests and diseases, drought, but also high yielding. Kenya recently lifted a ban on cultivation and importation of genetically modified crops amid the worst drought that has led to food insecurity. The science community proposes that genetic modification can answer Africa's food challenges. In Uganda, students of biotechnology and biosciences and agricultural scientists were at Makerere University and thereafter demonstrated solidarity for the adoption of modern science.
I've joined this campaign because it is intended to spearhead the use of GMOs to improve our food security.
From the nutrition point of view, we need to understand that genetically modified organisms, they don't alter the nutrient composition of the foods that we have. Instead, they are going to increase the nutritional composition of the different foods that we have. And if you also see that we have a lot of food insecurity,
we have to all take the trend and we shift to GMOs because they can adapt to the new climate and the environment. And with the increasing populations, GMOs actually shall now be the only way to go because they can enhance productivity and they're even more resilient to climate change.
Agricultural scientists approve of modern science.
Also marching with a similar group in Kenya, in Nairobi, where we would like to show and highlight the innovations that biotechnology and especially GMOs can bring to national development. So in a small way, we want to make a statement and show the world that yes, we are there, we can harness the technology of GMOs to sustain food security, incomes of people, health and the environment, in order for us to be able to handle future challenges such as climate change.
Products like which we've never known about, like xanthan gum, like lactic acid, which to me I call them procs of development, because industrialized countries produce those products. They use genetically modified organisms to produce them, and we import them.
Replanet Africa, a grassroots non-government organization that promotes the understanding of science, highlights the need for Africa to appreciate the contribution of agricultural science to food security and economic transformation.
Innovation is the way to go. We cannot feed our growing population if we do not embrace innovation. And biotechnology is one of those innovations that can help us with food security. So we are marching to show our solidarity and our support, but to also call upon the government of Uganda to remind them that we have also been waiting for the biotechnology bill to be passed in our country so that farmers can access these seeds, they can access this technology so that they can feed our population.
However, the population needs to understand the science of genetic modification.
I think that there has been a lot of miscommunication, misinformation. I think this is the biggest problem. and also a lot of activism against technology. Many people find it better for them to fight technology and science, but I think with time, the public will come to understand what we are trying to do for them.
Although some African countries have adopted genetic modification, in Uganda, authorities want a regulatory framework. Adia Nakute, UBC.
In more business stories, Helpware, a business process outsourcing company that is set to provide support to companies worldwide through investing in the latest technologies and innovations with the best talents. Now, currently, Helpware is set to open operations into Africa and Uganda as its first designation, with an aim of employing more than 5,000 employees.
Use your degree to prepare you for a world that is broad.
All is set to expand business process outsourcing industry in Uganda and employ over 5,000 youth, with Ministry of ICT providing an enabling environment after the partnership signed between Ministry of ICT and Helpware.
We were tasked initially to say, create jobs, as many as 15,000 jobs in the first year. We said, thank you very much, we shall give you the jobs. But we found that the environment was not leveled, as some politicians want to call it. So through the council, we have been able to develop a policy which is being discussed by cabinet, and soon, once it is approved, it will now cover you, the individuals who need employment, and the providers like Helpware.
We made Uganda out to be attractive because we know the capability it has. People out there do not know about Uganda. In fact, they don't even know we speak English. So we approach them with the offering of educated people, a young population who are eloquent, clear, hardworking, and have the right attitude to work.
Helpware is a global tech-enabling business process outsourcing partner that helps innovative companies deliver exceptional digital customer experience across various channels.
We will be forced to operate differently here, more brick and mortar, in office, working with your local telecoms and redundancy, and working where that infrastructure has already been put in place and is redundant and accessible. This is part of the reason we focused on going the university route as well, because these hubs of universities and how they're spread across the country actually give us a very good map to follow when it comes to the right type of redundant.
Government of Uganda, through the Ministry of ICT, is committed to set up skilling centers across the country so as to equip youth with vast skills in computer science and other basic related skills.
Uganda has a Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, and has few, or before, had some space for skilling. And now the government has committed to build skilling centers. You see, Alex has said, come on 22nd. We are coming here. But as BPO Council and government, we are going to build skilling centers for Ugandans and regionally, not only in Kampala, so that if you are in Arua, we skill you there and you get a job to work in America, but you are in Arua. Government has committed that.
Digital control customer services, content control verification, AI operations are some of the startup solutions accelerated by Helpware Uganda.
Well, thank you so much for watching UBC News tonight. That started at 8 p.m. and has come to an end with just 1 minute to 9 p.m. You can join us once again at 10 p.m. for more news coming your way. Have a lovely night. My name is Sharon. Kyomugisha.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Capote Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Capote deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Capote Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands